Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. It's your boy, Big Black Crypto, and I just wanted to highlight something for y'all. Um, I'll say crypto math because it's sensationalist word in regards to digital assets, and it's a lot easier for you to hear the word crypto, much like any other slang term. But this is unique though because when someone says crypto, it brings you into a fintech environment, and automatically it's like Nike, Jordan, except in reality, it's a digital asset. And you should learn to do research or at least benefit from someone else's research and understanding the value long term in possessing a digital asset or simply understanding the risk associated with a digital asset that is simply just a virtual currency. But the thing is, with a digital asset, it's more than just the applicable dollar amount that's associated with it. There's also a real world use case and application currently and long term. So that's kind of what you want to look for. But this is going to focus specifically on the value over time as opposed to market appraisal and review of the actual business profile. So this is the formula we're working with. Basically like your APY or your uh, per annum or annum per year. And if any of the handwriting gets to you, no worries. Next time I'll print if I remember to. But basically, what you have is 1 plus the rate of interest divided by the number of times compounded. And that's going to be to the exponent of itself minus 1. Let's go specifically to given values. So your APY, again, I want to keep the formula above the given values. It's one of those things that I find a lot easier as opposed to, people when they get lost, they need an ability to come back to. So I'm a firm believer of going through your formula and keeping given values separate so you can always refer back to. If I had a bigger board, I would just like highlight one to another. So again, it's your APY, your annum per year, or PA in some cases per annum. It's bracket 1 plus R divided by N, bracket to the power of N minus 1. Again, N represents the number of times interest is compounded. So in this case, it's 12 months. And then the R, the rate of interest. And we're going to do something simple. We're going to keep it to 12%. Typically in Canada, what you'll find is that your rates of interest are calculated at 4.5%, 12%, 3%. In the US, it would be basically 5.5%, and so forth. But anyways, typically what you'll find options for staking at is 18 months, 2 years, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. P is for principal or the amount initially invested. So yeah, so remember too, so this is how it's gonna work. Remember these values. You're coming back here, you've already established that's your number of times compounded is 12 months. The interest rate we've already decided that's 12%. The principal, we'll keep it simple to $1, but you can change the given values if you've got most cell phones, most smartphones will have a scientific calculator option. Most computers will allow you to turn the calculator into a scientific calculator, and we all have access to the internet if you're watching this, so you do have access to a scientific calculator where you'll be able, most calculators will allow you to do the brackets. Nonetheless, so basically we're going to keep it, the 1 is simply reflective of 1 year. We're not going to do 365 days. We're not going to do 12. It's 1 year. And then it's going to be plus bracket 0.12 divided by 12, right? Remember what I said? The interest rate is 12, and then divided by 12, which is the number of times the interest is compounded, bracket, double bracket, minus 1. This is where it comes back to, right? BEDMAS is important, right? You always got to do your brackets first, then your exponents, then division, then multiplication, then addition, and then subtraction, and of course, stop the excuses. And because at the end of the day, you know what? I'm not the most religious person, but I do enjoy saying hallelujah. To the moon, baby. So let's continue. So you got bracket 1 plus bracket 0.1 bracket 12 minus 1. So what happened here? We simply, let's go back. 0.12 divided by 12 gives us 0.1. Now remember, we're going to the power of 12 because that's part of where we were before, right? Remember the formulas. N eventually, or whatever happens in this bracketed area, will be to the power of 12. So, shall we? Here we go. And you still got to do the minus 1. So, it's equal to bracket 1.01, 12 minus 1. What I try to encourage people to do when they do their math is when you have two different types of brackets, make sure like it's clear. And whatever you solve, continue with the brackets you've yet to solve in. So 1.01 to the power of 12 minus 1. It's very important to keep your work organized because it's a lot easier to figure out where your mistakes are. As someone who recently, how can I describe it? Put it this way. If you have a mistake and you need someone to comb over the numbers, it's a lot easier for me to see continuity as opposed to just like looking at a big picture of crap. So always find a way to streamline your workflow by being organized. Coming back to it, 1.01 times 12 minus 1. So when you times 1.01 times 12, you get 1.268 minus 1. And then from there, it's 0.1268. So that's your rate of return basically for the year. Either 12.7%, most places will round up. If they want to play hardball, you're going to be stuck at 12.68. It is what it is. It's all part of the game. To get that, what you got to do, remember, to calculate percentiles, it's simple multiplication. It's always going to be times 100. So blank times 100 is, let's fill in that blank, 0.1268 times 100, which is equal to 12.68%, and or 12.7%. So that's how you calculate it. Now you're going to get to a point where what you're going to want to do is also understand how the payout is calculated as well, right? If things are, you're looking at the APY, but then the payout is every 7 days, for example, right? How many weeks are there in a year? There's about 51. And remember, the first day of the week is always equal to 0. The value resets, and basically, and this is specific to the exchange itself. I'm not speaking in general. This is just an example of one particular exchange. So say there's 51, probably 52 weeks. I should have looked that up. I should know that anyways. I've been alive for 30 plus something years. But then basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your APY, if I'm correct, and I'm open to being wrong. This is what's beautiful about, blockchains and other chains and non-blockchain digital assets, is that there's global consensus. So if my math is wrong, I expect the community to come and tell me, hey, this is wrong, the way you did this, and correct me. And that's why I really like certain digital assets, is the continuity. There's an effort to maintain accuracy. So basically all you would do is take your APY, divide that by 52, and that's what you could expect at the end of the week. Okay. Thank you for your time. I hope I've kept it as short as I could. Again, I don't like using the word crypto. I prefer using the word digital asset because sometimes it just straight up bastardizes the conversation and it keeps people at a lower intellect. Like, I like speaking to the room or speaking to the purpose of what things could be. And I'm not against calling things crypto because it is also generally, it's the cryptography is what makes it, which is why we're all here. But I don't want to bastardize things. So don't be upset if you hear me refer to anything crypto related as a digital asset. Thank you for your time and have a great day.